Plan A, got a couple patches made, is to patch the rusty areas. One there. And the other one is right there. Sorry guys. Keep your toy, I gotta lock the door. Don't want you burning your eyeballs out. We got those done. They look good from here. They look good from my house. I think the welds turned out okay. All you welders out there will be like, whatever. But it's amazing when you got good metal and good metal, how you can get kind of a decent bead. But when you get to rust, it blows through everything. Same thing happened on this one. You know. I'll show you close up. I won't be afraid. But there's my beads. They stacked like dimes. They look good, I think. Well, for me. But when you got good metal and good metal, you can go along pretty easy. But then all of a sudden, when you start getting into rusty stuff, it just blows through it. And then you have to try to fill it and fill it and fill it. And it blows it out and blows it out. Until you get to good metal again. And over here, I should have done it before shot, but I had a huge gap over here. And then the metal kept blowing out all the way over here. And it's like, good Lord, there's probably a good inch right there between there and there. But then I just kept stacking it until I got to good things again. Same thing over here. Things are blowing through all over up here and just kept going up and up and up. But over here, it's like I went from here all the way up to here, blowing through everything. I should have just cut that patch out, this whole section probably, and just did the whole thing. And that's actually what I'm gonna do over here with this side. Sorry about my squeaky stool I'm sitting on. Over here it's really pitted real bad. The previous people cut this section out all the way over to here and replaced this whole piece. But then I don't want to chase these holes all over the place. So I'm just going to cut out this whole section here and just do one solid piece. My frame rail, it's toast. It had been cut in half and then welded back on. My jack stand, there's no pressure on this. It's just under there, but it's rotted all the way up to the weld. Right here, you can check that. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but this moves. It comes down to about here where these welds didn't hold. So this is going to be interesting. And then it's rotted through at the bottom and then all the way up to about here on this side. And so I'm just going to cut this whole piece off, come back here and make a piece, corner piece welded on. And then I'm going to cut the whole bottom of it out all the way up to the weld. Probably do that first while this is together, and then put a plate on the bottom. Then I can weld it on the outside and lay a bead on the inside, and across the back. And then once that is on and reinforced, I'll come through here and knock these welds off. Probably take my saw and come down the side and then fill it and fill that gap in so that I know that it penetrates, and I'll do that on each side. And over here I took this piece and just cut it off. figures. At least this gives me peace of mind. Kind of an idea of what's going on. Looks really nice in there actually. Took this off and looks pretty good for the most part. Oh well. Here's where they welded wires. Got that done. Now let's work on this. Yeah, this one could be fun. Things are blowing out across the top up here, so it's kind of a back and forth deal. Over here is nice tight weld. Good metal there. Over here I had a pretty good sized gap, so it's kind of back and forth. I do have these holes there. I need to fill those in because that's the area. It drops down right here and comes back up, and then drops down again and comes back up, and that's where your cross member sits, is in those little valleys right there. Got that one put in. That's what I'm after. Kind of warm, especially when you have holes in your gloves. What I did is I took this piece and just set it in here. You can see the little oval and then the circle. This one, you can kind of see what's left of them. And I went from the circle back the same distance I did on that one. I just took that off. And you can kind of see where the oval was and where it lined up. And then I'm going to add all of this to it. I took a tape measure and measured from there back up to here, which is about 7 1/4 inches. So I need to add all of this to that. So far this metal's been the gift that keeps on giving. Poor metal's getting robbed. I think if I go here and add coming up this way, the most I'll waste is this little piece here versus all of this. So I'll cut one out right there. Oh, I must have left my camera on. Well, I got some new parts. Guess who from? You can see this. Let me turn my light on.
Bluetooth mode connected.
Oh yeah, and I sell these speakers, by the way. Go check out my video about the speakers. I don't sell them, I just get a percentage of what they sell for. So if you want to order some, that'd be great. They work awesome. I just drained my bank account again. My cars and hobbies account. My rocker panel came in, my banner came in, And after looking at my car, replacing the torsion bar cross brace, I did a lot of pondering and considering, and I'll show you what I did. Hello, children. Got the torsion bar cross brace. It's in, however, it's just sitting in here. It's not welded in yet. I have a new headliner. Or is that a rooftop? Just having fun with it. It would be cool to put this inside the headliner bows. That would be a neat roof, since it probably won't have a headliner in here. Anyway, but as I was working on this, I really got to thinking of this. No structural integrity there at all right now, and that bothers me. But over here it looks great. And as I was looking at the frame rails on the car, you can see where this is going. Over here on the good frame rail back there, but right here, that frame rail has been cut through completely, all the way up top, all the way around. Well, you can see the cut marks in here all the way across the bottom, all the way up top here. And then they scabbed in this piece of metal from here over. And down below, where they cut the frame rail, is right there, all the way through. Perfectly good frame rail, no rust in it at all. I don't know why they did that, but here's the welds up on this other side going all the way up. And an otherwise good inner fender. But then you come over here, on this fender they did the exact same thing. They scabbed in that piece right there all the way down, and then they stopped right there, like they ran out of material or something. So there's nothing for the fender to bolt onto. Down all the way across the bottom, all of that's boogered up and welded. And then they welded all the way around the shock tower, all the way around. It does have some rust up here on the very top, if you can see that or not. And then it's all pitted here and just kind of burnt halfway through. And I was like, man. And then this frame rail is, you know, inside cut in half there. So I got two frame rails that are cut in half. This one is cut right there, just right before the end of the K-member and the front, so it's kind of in between here. So what I went ahead and did was I ordered new inner fenders on both sides, and I had enough money to order new door hinges, because I will need those to make sure my gaps are okay, because these are hanging. And I had enough to barely order new inner C-pillar, roof pillar structures, because these are toast on both sides. I was going to reuse these where they were cut in half. Open my fender again. Come on. I'm going to shut the light off on my phone now. Okay. And then over here, you can just see how lined up everything, how lovely. That's a whole finger's width that is not lined up. But it was driving me crazy. I did not want to reuse these things. I will if I have to, but I had enough that I could order these. So I sucked my account dry again. So now I have no money. So it's time to sell stuff again. So that's the update. I have that order coming from AMD. It's on its way. And there's one more thing that I'm gonna do while I can. And now for plan B. And that is I was looking through all of my archive of parts. And look what I have here. If you don't know what those are, those that aren't car people, those are the frame rails. Front frame rails. I'm gonna replace both of them. I didn't want to, all the work that's involved, but I'm going to for peace of mind. The outer rocker panel will go on this 68 Coronet, and the inner rocker is gonna go on the Charger. The inner rocker panel, watch out Goldie, is rotted pretty bad, and so a section of it's gonna go right there. The other rocker panel is right here. And then this whole car will all be nice, and I won't ever question anything, because in the future I would probably like to put a roll bar in here. And in order to do that, you come through the firewall and you weld right onto the frame rail. And with two frame rails that are integrally messed up, that will always loom over my head. So I am going to just replace them. Take another month if I have to. It'll throw me way behind schedule, but I'll have a good car in the end, and then I won't question anything about it. So, and then I'll eventually get a nice hood and another fender. Anyway, that's what we got going on. I want to weld this in first, get it where I need it to be, and then I'll take out one frame rail at a time and go from there. And I'm sure Goldie will probably help me, and Rusty too. Those frame rails and this torsion bar cross brace were actually taken out of the car as one piece with the K-member, and everything was left welded. So I peeled these tabs up to drop it out from the bottom of the car, and that way I could keep everything as one piece. I wish I could have left it that way, because then I could just slide the whole thing under here, line things up, and boom, be done. But I took them all apart individually just because it was a pain in the butt moving that thing around and whatever. So oh well, at least they'll be reunited again, right Rusty? Right Goldie? Which is this video right here. Thanks for watching.